In this video, we are going to cover off the Scarcity Bar add-on for WP Link Shield. So if you haven't purchased that add-on, I recommend that you do if you like what you see in this video. So let's get straight into it anyway. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you've installed it. Watch the first video on this page to cover off the installation process again, and you want to make sure that it's licensed. So I'm using the demo license here, we've got no warnings at the top of the screen telling us that anything is unlicensed, so we know we're good to go. Once it's all installed and licensed correctly, you're going to get an extra item in your WP Link Shield menu called Scarcity Bars. So let's go ahead and click on that. Now I've already created one Scarcity Bar here. I'm going to create a new one so that we can go through the whole process. So to do that, I'm just going to click on Add New. Now the first thing we need to do is come up with a name for our Scarcity Bar. So we need to decide what our Scarcity Bar is going to be for. I'm going to create an evergreen Scarcity Bar. So let's call this evergreen. Oops. Let's think of a color that we want to go with it. Let's go with red. We'll make a nice ugly one. We might set it to expire after just 2 hours. So we'll call it 2 hour price increasing. Okay, that'll do with our name. So let's go through it. So firstly, we've got the scarcity type. Now this allows you to select whether your scarcity bar is going to expire on a date or whether it's evergreen. So if we change it to date mode and we click on the box, we get the calendar control popping up here, so we can go ahead and change this to whatever day and time zone we want the bar to be counting down towards. But in my opinion, the more useful feature is the evergreen mode, as this allows us to create different scarcity depending on when the traffic actually visits the page. So let's go through that mode. So the first thing we've got here is the expire after X number of hours. Now I'm just going to leave this on 2 actually, as that's what we decided on before, 2 hours. Now the next thing we've got is the round up to nearest hour checkbox. Now I'm going to check that in this case. What this does is, how do I explain this? If you visit a page at let's say 2:05 in the afternoon, and it has a timer on it that says you've got exactly 2 hours before the price is going to increase or the offer expires. It seems a bit suspicious, because what are the odds that they're going to make that that change at 4 in this case. People generally change things on the hour. They change it, especially at midnight or whatever, but they're always changing it on the hour, right? So what this box does is it rounds the time up so that it's always going to expire on the nearest hour. So for example, if I visited a page with this timer on it at 2:05, instead of seeing a timer telling me that I've only got 2 hours to make my decision, it would tell me I've got 2 hours and 55 minutes. If I visited that same page at 2:25, it would tell me I've got 2 hours and 35 minutes. It always rounds it to a sensible number. So that's what the rounding up represents. Now, if you leave this unticked, it's just always going to start at 2 hours. Now, remember, these evergreen bars are cookied. So, if I visited it, under this configuration, and it started me with 2 hours and 50 minutes, for example, before it expires. If I then wait 1 hour and 50 minutes, it's going to tell me I've got 1 hour remaining. If I waited 2 hours and 49 minutes, it's going to tell me I've got 1 minute remaining. So that's these evergreen bars are cookied. Now that brings me on to the next item here, which is the reset after hours. So what this is for is it's how long an expired bar is gonna stick for. So if we have this set to 2 hours, basically whatever if the bar expires, it's going to remain expired for another 2 hours before it goes into our normal expire after mode. So you can use this if you want to, redirect traffic somewhere else for a couple of hours after, if they haven't made a decision and actually gone ahead with, whatever offer you were presenting to them within the timer expiry. You might want to send the traffic somewhere else and try and get them to convert on a different offer, or do something else. If they didn't take action straight away. So that's what this is for. Next up, we've got the expiry mode. So this controls what happens when the timer actually hits 0. So we've got 3 options here. You can hide the bar. So this means the bar will just fade out and disappear. We've got the stop timer. So that means it's going to look more or less how it does at the bottom of the screen right now. It's just going to be all zeros. Or we've got the redirect mode, which means it's going to redirect off to whatever page you type in down here. So, this allows you to bounce the traffic off to another page, which might say that the offer is expired, or, you might want to send them to a different offer entirely, maybe with a lower price point if you think that might have been their objection. Let's scroll down a bit more. Now we've got the colors. So we use these 4 color options to change the appearance of the bar. Now we called ours the red 2-hour price increasing bar. So we've already set our 2 hours here and the expire after. Let's go ahead and make it red. So to do that, I'm going to click on the background drop down, and it's a bit too bright. Let's go with that. We've changed the background color to red. We want to change the digits, which are the actual numbers on our timer. Let's make those. Let's make them white. The face is the background of the digits. So let's make this a bit of a light orange, maybe. Yeah, actually that's a bit too hard to see. Maybe you'll make it orange like that. This is a pretty ugly looking bar, but it's just a demonstration. Then we've got the labels, which are these ones at the top here. So, sometimes if you want to get rid of the labels, if you don't want it to be visible at all, you can just, make sure you copy the same color as the background. So I'm going to do that in this case, just so we don't see those labels. And then finally, we've got the before and after boxes, which is the text that appears on the left or above the timer, depending on if you're on a mobile or not, and the after, which appears to the right or below the timer, again depending on if you're on a mobile or not. So we called this the 2-hour price increasing scarcity bar. So let's type something in here that indicates the price is going to increase. So let's say warning, this price will increase in. Okay, and I want to change this to, let's say, impact. I'm going to increase the font size right up to 24 point, and we'll change this this text color to yellow. Actually, that's a bit too hard to read in impact. I think we'll try Arial black. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Still a bit ugly. Could do with some tweaking, but let's just go with that for now. I'm going to leave the after text blank here, as we've already used up a lot of horizontal space. So that looks pretty good to me. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and save that timer, and then we'll actually start using it on one of our links. So I'm going to go back to the all links section. I'm going to pop open one of our offers, and this one we used before, and we had a bonus bar set up on it, so I'm going to change that back to none for the bonus bar. And I'm going to enable our scarcity bar, which was our evergreen red 2-hour price increasing bar. And then let's have a look at that cloaked link. So there's our countdown timer, exactly as we expected it to be. And obviously we can change this to any other bar that we've configured as well. I'll just change it to a different bar. There's a different bar there. So that's how we do that. And that's really all there is to it, to scarcity bars. So once again, if you haven't actually purchased the add-on, it's definitely something I recommend, as you can greatly increase conversions by using it. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or run into any trouble, don't hesitate to get in touch.